What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on this project from Quelle Chris and Chris Keys called Innocent Country 2. Now, Quelle Chris is a rapper who's coming out of Detroit who has put together a great discography over the years. He even had one of my favorite albums last year when he came out with Guns that made my year-end list. And Chris Keys is a producer who worked with Quelle Chris on the first Innocent Country. That's actually not a project that I've checked out yet, so I will have to go back and get to that eventually. But for now, I wanted to jump right into this one because I was curious to hear how it would come together. I am familiar with Quelle Chris, as I said, but with Chris Keys, I've seen his name around, but wasn't overly familiar with his production style. But after listening through this album, I can say he absolutely kills the production, and Quelle Chris is bringing the high-quality lyricism that you would expect. You're in for a lot of very smooth and bright production here with lots of piano and great bass lines, so if you're looking for something that's mellow and has a bit of a feel-good vibe to it, I really think you'll appreciate a lot of these tracks. Like on the song Outro Honest, you're getting a slinky bass line and some clean keys here as Quelle Chris is rapping about a relationship with a woman that's basically falling apart. And then on Living Happy, we're getting this playful piano as well as a very catchy and fun chorus that details a bunch of different dance crazes from the past. Whether you want to talk about the Running Man, the Tootsie Roll, don't get that confused with the Butterfly, that's old. You already know that if you came up on 69 Boys. But there's just a lot of really great moments on here, and this is easily one of my favorite albums of the year so far. You're also going to pick up on some great features from Cavalier and Joseph Chilliams on the track that I was just talking about, the latter of which raps about a party getting shot up, which in turn makes him have to run up the block like a cameraman from Maury. And I just thought that was a good reference, because if you've seen Maury, you know how those cameramen can run, man. They run like a toddler does when they hear the fridge being opened up, or maybe the snack cabinet opened up, man. They just go crazy. So I thought that was a fun reference, and you will get the usual humor and fun references throughout this project, because Quelle Chris and the people that he works with usually do those types of things. Now, another one of those classic daytime talk shows, much like Maury, is Ricky Lake, and you will hear Chris referencing this on the song Horizon, where he spits, "Trying to turn these bad thoughts into bankrolls. I've been about that me and mine since Ricky Lake hosted." So obviously he's saying he's been putting that work in since many, many years ago. And I thought this one had some really cool 8-bit vibes when it comes to the production. Just some of the sound effects on here give me that reminiscent vibe of old school video games. So I thought that was something that was dope. Now, you're also going to get some cool lines from Chris, like when he says, "Sometimes you got to see yourself, you want to be yourself, yet reflections and perceptions hardly eye to eye on leveled shelf," which I personally took as how sometimes it's hard to look at yourself with honesty and a fair balance. Really a lot of introspection to go along with the feel-good vibes throughout this project. So there is a spoken word piece on Ritual about black excellence, and these themes of black excellence are explored even more on the song Black Twitter. I really love the nostalgic feel to this track. The piano on this, once again, is very bright and clean, and Chris Moselle and Nelson Bandela are all spitting very poignant bars about the beauty of black excellence. I absolutely love this track, and Chris has some especially poignant bars on here, like when he spits, "It takes more than February for black observance," just reminding you to keep it real year round, and also "No racial drafts or honorary blacks, we goody just the way you stacked." I especially like that one because it seems to me like he's kind of taking aim at the culture vultures, and you know, this whole cookout thing where all these people get invited to this proverbial black cookout over doing the bare minimum, like not being racist or just being a decent human being. That's kind of the shots that I saw him getting at here with those lines, so I really appreciated him saying that. Now, another favorite track of mine is Sudden Death. This one is just once again very fun, bright, and uplifting. I like his singing style on here. It's kind of subdued, but it's still catchy, and I especially like that line he has about clearing your desktop and starting fresh. Now, I don't know if he means your actual physical desktop or your computer desktop, but I chose to go with the computer desktop because you know how it is, man, especially if you work on a lot of projects like I do, doing these reviews, streaming on Twitch, and doing various things. I used to do a podcast too. Your desktop would get wild, man. The shit would be all over the place with all these files and folders, and it does feel good once you take that time to delete it all and get it down to the minimum amount. So that's how I took it. But at the end of the day, he's just saying, you know, clear your shit up and get it together. Really just a great track, man. To me, the idea of this Sudden Death song is just enjoying life for its imperfections, doing the best you can and enjoying it. So these are some of the themes and ideas you get throughout here. Another feel-good joint is Sacred Life. This one has even more of that great sunny production. You're getting awesome vocal layers on the hook, and even some great features here too. I really like that verse from Cavalier. He works this bouncy flow, especially at the start of his verse. Thought that was dope. And we get a great verse from homeboy Sandman, who spits some game as he says, vital part of making omelets is breaking eggs, which is obviously that classic idiom about progress and sacrifice. So I thought that was a great moment. And there's just no shortage of great moments on this album, man. This is a really dope project. You got Grease from the Elbows. This has a haunting track that creeps along on this very slick bass line with equally slick flows from Quelle Chris and Pink Sifu. I think the rapping on here from Chris and the guests is just great throughout the whole album, man. There's plenty of bars, excellent flows, and fun styles. Then we get Mirage and When You Fall. These are two 7-minute long feature-heavy tracks. Basically, they're bar fests featuring a slew of people, including Earl Sweatshirt on one of these songs. I thought these were great tracks. And then on Graphic Bleedouts, you're getting some excellent vocals from Miro Garbus, as well as one of my favorite instrumentals, especially when we get that instrumental break and those woodwinds really come into full effect. Great production throughout this. I was really happy with what Chris Keys did here, so I got to stop sleeping and check some of his other work, including The First Innocent Country. And, you know, on top of that, not only do you get these bright and sunny, gorgeous beats that I've been talking about, you do get a nasty banger with Bottle Black Power by The Business, man. This shit is so menacing. It will get you scowling within 5 minutes. It kind of gave me an old school 3-6 Mafia vibe, just a little bit. It's not quite that eerie, but it does have a bit of a lo-fi, kind of gritty feel to it. It just made me think of that. It is what it is. So, to me, man, this is a great album that I'm going to give a 9 out of 10 to. Only reason I wouldn't go higher is I didn't feel like this is one of those albums that's really going to change the culture or, you know, welcome in a new sound. That's why I really don't give 9.5s or 10s very often. Or back when I had my old system, I only ever gave a 5 to Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly, because we see what that album has done for the culture and how it changed things. But it doesn't matter, man. This is still a really, really dope album. That's the point I'm getting at here. I would say it's my favorite album of the year so far. So check it out if you haven't, and if you have checked it out, let me know what you think. If you like it as much as I do, if you were disappointed, what Quelle Chris projects do you like? I always want to know all that good stuff. Make sure you also check me out on my Twitch. You guys know I'm usually going live 8 or 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. You know, 3 or 4 times a week I go hard for a couple of hours. I'm on vacation this week, so I will be on there more often, playing some Persona 5, The Royal, talking about everything going on in the world. The other day we were talking about just this 6ix9ine nonsense and just the idea of how perception in hip-hop has changed in regards to the whole ratting and snitching thing being real. Do people care about that anymore? We get into some really great discussions, man. So even if you're not really into the actual video game playing that I'm doing, we do have a lot of discussions about various hip-hop topics, even the current releases and stuff like that. So check me out on there. Make sure you hit me up down below with your thoughts and opinions. And of course, make sure you show me love and you show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.